It's time to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of gum.
Respect my authority!
Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. How's everybody doing today? What's up, Hussein? Getting excited about new arenas. Kabam needs to do something. Well, Kabam should not have taken Battlegrounds away. What's up, the Grooty Black Man? And an Ani handshake, here you go. What's up, Rafal, LC Music Tracks, Dennis. How I have been? Okay, I guess. I don't know, I was feeling quite fobbed off for most of the day today, but you know, it's just one of those. I'm sure it'll be better tomorrow. Hey, what's up, John? How are you doing? Hope you are well. What's up, Mars Barbecue Sauce? How are you doing? Oh, yeah, BG Contest video? Thanks, man. How next one coming up tomorrow? Tomorrow's video is going to be... double check. Tomorrow I have PV, CCP USB. We'll see that. How's it going? Hey, what's up, Jason? How are you doing as well? Well, it took me. I saw the new arenas and I thought myself I'm really introducing. That's not my fault that you're so gullible. I'm just saying. I am just saying. It's not my fault. What's up, Raimundo? Right, of course, of course. Of course they named their arena like that. Okay. Okay. Let's just deal with this. How's everybody doing? New arenas, I know, right? More units. Are you going to push for Shuri? Absolutely not. I'm not grinding for any new featured 6-star champions until Kabam does something about arenas. Arenas are insane. Even grinding for some of the more popular basic champions is brutal now. Like when I grinded for Scorpion, it wasn't an easy grind, man. I ended up using units and stuff too. Yeah, I'm not grinding for any new featured 6-stars, no matter how much. Like, I really like Spot. I haven't, like, you know, talked too much about him, but I really like him as a champion. I think he's going to be amazing. I really want to get my hands on a 6-star Spot. But there was no way in hell that I was going to grind for him. Just because of the scores and stuff. Killmonger worth ranking up for BG defense? Yeah, I think so. With Killmonger, you kind of have to be careful to avoid CGRs. So if you're planning on adding Killmonger to your deck, it's often probably good to, you know, ban a CGR or draft him later on when you know that, you know, CGR isn't popping up or something like that. But he's very good, yeah. In some metas, he's amazing. Like in the meta when champions were immune to armor break. He was just a menace. He's still good in other metas, of course, but, you know, you need to, you know, like, realize his weaknesses as well. Cheaters and more, cheaters and BGs, and cheaters and arenas. The game has become playground for modders. Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately. That's advice. You're welcome. Sub dab. Do I think Shuri needs her awaken to build defense? No. You're not gonna be throwing crap in block anyways, for the most part. I mean, it could be helpful against Tigra. I think that's like pretty much the only champion where you really want it. Do you know why Cersei gets transportation charge so fast in Cosmic Cav EQ? Like 19 charges in like 10 seconds, special dude. It's going. Is there a special lock or some sort of oh, if there is a yeah, I know. It's not in all of the Cav EQ. If I'm not mistaken, it's against the Pessimist one. And the way Pessimist node works, you can try Galan. It works the same way. Because the way Pessimist nodes are coded is because as long as opponent is above that, you know, 75% threshold, every few seconds the node basically double checks the defender's health and technically reapplies that armor buff. You can try the same thing out with Galan, for instance, where he's just gonna gain, like, let me show you. Can I show you? Yeah, I can show you, I think so. It's specifically to do with Pessimist node, and it counts it as opponents consistently triggering armor ups. So it works with Galan, it works with Cersei. I think there's probably some other characters that do that. I like a Tumas kit so much. That's good. Game is filled with ability decreasing. Yeah, that really does sound interesting. The thing I don't like about the Tumas kit is that he's clearly like a ramp up champion. What's up, Stammy? How are you doing? Zero P while trying to sell Scorpion raid counters quite a lot. Is there a way to avoid it? Yeah, basically I just hit him whilst he's stunned. That's how I avoid it. Only other times I did hit him whilst he's stunned with heavy attack, where I basically did parry 3 hits or parry heavy, and then it wasn't too bad. Never knew that. I'll show you in a sec. I think this is last fight. Which is the cosmic quest and the Kavik? Right. So this is Kavik, if I'm not mistaken. Which one is the cosmic one? I'm gonna just pull the 6-star Scorpion. I was wondering if I should give him my 6-star Science Awakening gem or keep him maybe for a quick soul or someone else. He doesn't need it. Is it Shuri? Which one is the cosmic quest, by the way? Can anybody remind me? 2.1. Let's double check. No, this one's mutants. I think I am actually thinking of giving my Scorpion a gem too, but we'll see. Let's try 2.2. 2.2, yeah, I will try 2.2. Cosmic is 1.2. Okay, thanks, Mitchell. Right, so let me, whenever the game loads. Right, so, oh yeah, now I remember, it was this. It works the same thing with Galan as well as it does with Cersei. Is there any other cosmic champions that benefit opponents having a ton of armor ups, triggering? I don't think so. Whatever, let's leave it. And it is to do with the Pessimist node, so it's gonna be, I think, top left side here. Yeah, Pessimist. You see this gains fury, armor up, and health steal as long as they remain above 75% HP. The way it is coded is that every second or every 3 seconds, they kind of check the defender's health. Venompool, I think, could technically be one of those as well. And let's see what happens with Galan here. So Galan gains planetary mass whenever opponents... You see? Every second, he's just randomly gaining planetary mass. So you don't have to do anything in this fight. Only thing you can do... Only thing I have to do in this fight is drop a heavy attack. Here's a 99. So every single second it checks the opponent's health, and you see now he's not above 75% health, and it's not gaining anymore, right? So it's the same thing with okay, let me finish this fight up. So it's exactly the same thing with... I obviously should have thrown my level 1 and finished the fight quicker. But yeah, it's super easy and cheesy with Galan. I could have finished this fight like ages ago. And it's the same thing with Cersei, obviously. So. There we go. And yeah. What do you mean, baby Galan? It's a 6-star rank 3. Why is it baby? And yeah, Cersei is the same, so... I'm not gonna do anything with Cersei, like initially. And check it out. Every single second you gain those transportation charges. And then obviously you gain the aptitudes and boom. So you can do stuff like that with Cersei. Kind of fun. Okay, let me show you a proper fight with Galan then, since I'm here. You guys, didn't know Cersei did that? Yeah, Cersei does that too. So again with Galan, you can see that I don't have to hit him and I'm just gonna get to 999 charges basically. Right? Hit her, I mean, whatever. Sweet 999 charges. Just gaining more charges here. Let's go for 999 plus some furies and stuff, and boom. Fight's done. Update seems to be live apparently. Which update? What update are you talking about? Q. So yeah. If you guys want, I guess I can make a video on it. New champ's broken? Which new champ? I mean, I'll restart my game, but... Reinter Doom, Kingpin, Galan, Quicksilver, who should get the generic? Some random ass update? Oh, you mean for like the relic stuff? One sec. One sec. Where be die app store? Okay. Updating Marvel Concept Champions. Should have that installed. Let's go. Cosmic Gem, should I give it to already? Cosmic Gem. I mean, it's up to you. There's plenty of good contests. If you really like Null, you can give it Null. Hyperion is an amazing option. TGR can benefit from it as well. You know, quite a lot of Cosmic Champions who deserve that. Reinter, Doom, Kingpin, Galan, Quicksilver, who should get a generic Awakening Gem? What do you want from in the game? What do you care about in the game? Do you care about Battlegrounds, Prestige, Alliance War, Alliance Quest, you know? All those things are important. Do you run Liquid Courage Double Edge? Do you not run Liquid Courage Double Edge? Is there anything at all new or improved or important? I don't think there's anything new here. Inventory. Nothing important here. Nothing important here. Nothing important here. I don't know what it was for. Open those crystals. Which crystals? What about Galan duped? I mean, Galan's dupe is nice, but it's not a must 100%. Skipping special 3 of red mags against robots. Skip the fight. I mean, like, you need to get to that level 3. That's kind of like thing. Just took my weekend to rank 4. So nice. Weekend can be quite neat, yeah. Especially right now in Alliance where like null bosses and stuff. All the crystals, what crystals? There are no crystals. If you saw no crystals there. New arena, what is new arena? As in like Shuri arena, next arena. It's Thursday, it means new arena time. AD rank for Guardian, Max Sig, Ultra, and Omega Sentinel can lean towards Guardian. Wanted your suggestion? For Battlegrounds, I think I'd do Guardian, honestly. But that's kind of like more specifically for Battlegrounds. But hey, welcome everybody. If I didn't say hello to you before or missed your message, please accept my apologies, but you are definitely welcome to the stream. Hope you guys enjoy it. And remember, if you enjoy it, then it would be awesome if you support it the best way you can. Hit those like buttons, hit those sub buttons, invite your friends, teammates, tell your cousins, all that other good stuff. How many bell chips are you saving? I don't know. I'll probably open them in December or something. And 46, nice. That's solid score there, Stefan. Again, there's nothing bad with using, you know, some revives in Eternity of Pain. It's like, what else are you gonna do with your revives? So that's why, you know, it's one of those things. Like, I don't like when they make objectives like Thunderbolts and stuff like that, but I also have absolutely nothing against having, you know, actually hard fights to use to be forced to use revives and stuff. If that makes sense. Why do you have so little solo crystal shards? I had a crap ton of the solo and crystal shards, but I opened many when I was grinding for Scorpion, because I was I was using them for that basically. I had like 100 smaller boosts expire because of it, but yeah, because there is a decent amount of 5-star and 6-star arena boosts in those solo crystal shards. And I mean, yeah, that's what I did with them. I just used them for that Scorpion arena that I was grinding to make it easier for myself. Think tomorrow next BGC? Yeah, probably. Yeah, but yeah, I opened pretty much all of them for Scorpion grind. Yeah, I had a ton as well. I didn't have 10 million, but I had a ton. Best counters for Hulkling. Rintra, Tigra, Wiccan, Juggernaut, Black Cat. Massacre is really good. Those are best counters for Hulkling. Generally suggested your channel to guys asking for tips on complete Act 6 and 7. And here's an MCOC noobs tutorial. Yeah, MCOC noob is an awesome guy as well, for sure. My first BG, and to be honest, I didn't think it would like it that much. Feels a bit empty without it. Yeah, definitely. The game feels a lot more empty without it. But yeah, I think tomorrow we'll find out BG nodes and stuff. Unsteady ground, I'm not sure Wiccan will work. I don't know if we can work unsteady ground against null. And Wiccan does ideally want to be dupe against null. I mean, not ideally, but you do want your Wiccan to be duped. Any news in BG rewards? Nope, not yet. I was guessing from get-go that it's gonna be something like Friday, so I expect those rewards to come at some point tomorrow. Personally. Always did. Because for Kabam, few days typically means the longest possible definition of a few days or a couple days or something like that. And Friday is a day that kind of makes sense because they don't really do much on Saturdays and Sundays. Because nobody really works there on Saturdays and Sundays. And Friday is kind of like the last day when they could feasibly pay them out, I think. Use Black Widow Clairvoyant for Hulkling last meta. Oh yeah, Black Widow Clairvoyant works well. Hood works well. Those are kind of like your... Should I rank up Sunspot for BGs? I mean, Sunspot is a solid option. At the moment, though, everybody asking me who they should rank up for BGs. My honest and sincere advice is chill the fuck out till you find out nodes for the next month, and then base your rank ups on that. More specifically, if you are somebody who can quite conveniently get to Gladiator Circuit as is, rank up specifically for week 4. So what you should or should not rank for Battlegrounds right now entirely depends on week 4 meta in season 3, is the way you should be looking at it. Also, yeah, I know, unfortunately it's only a 7-day ban. Unfortunately it's only a 7-day ban. But yeah, he did get banned and booted. Talked about it in the morning stream. What's up, Neen? How are you doing? Chill. I said chill, but okay. Then which champion works against Null? I'm on unsteady ground. I'm not even 100% sure. I have never played unsteady ground yet, so you know I haven't given it too much thought either. That's not enough. There should be a permaban. They probably don't want to permaban that account because they want $600 from him on Cyber Weekend and $6,000 in gifting event. What's up, Kwambo? How are you doing? Thank you. No worries, you're welcome. Don't get about nods. It's in reality to go rank 3 defense. I mean, you do you. But ultimately, if you're ranking for Battlegrounds, then the best thing right now is to wait till you find out the nodes. Good afternoon. What's up, Daniel? So what he gets after 7 days? Well, he gets nothing. He comes back and plays the game. Oh, will he get rewards? I don't think he will, or if he will get rewards, I heard somewhere that his rating was dropped by 400 points or 500 points, something like that. In Battlegrounds, down to 200 or something. Again, for the second time, I think. If he will get rewards, which I'm not sure whether he will, then it will be something like... well, less. It's not gonna be the top rewards that he gets anyways. No BG rewards, yes. Weekend works for Null and Unsteady Ground. You just have to trade special ones to remove the devos. Okay, fair enough. Thank you for letting me know. Think about the upcoming Gore tuna. Well, I hope it's good. I like Gore as is, and I agree that those are problem areas that they identified. So I hope they do a good job. Not saving mangos. Hey, what's up, Alberto? How are you doing? That's materials for 7 stars. Fair enough, you can do that as well. What are you talking about? That guy that was manipulating matchmaking from TCN and then modding afterwards. Bossman, I know, waiting for BG Woods, welcome. Please release season 3 details. I suspect that season 3 details are gonna come tomorrow. I think last time they came on Friday as well. So I think that will be tomorrow when we get those deets. Most likely. Still one skill be banned more? Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens there. Do you know your rank already? I don't. No. I mean, I ended up somewhere in top 10, so that's where I'm gonna be. Or you mean the solo event rank and stuff? But no, I don't know any of the ranks. I know nothing. I see nothing. I know nothing. Rank up champions that are good defenders in general for BGs. Rank up OP defender. Which... I mean, you want to try kind of like connecting factors Q. Obviously, you know, you don't want to rank up like Sinisters and stuff like that. But for instance, the reason why I ranked up Warlock to rank 4 was in big part because I knew that Warlock is going to be amazing for last week. Because he had the highest crit damage in game and he was just brutal, right? And I did that. I could have done something else, but I did it because I knew that he's gonna... Because Warlock is a good Battleground champion as is. But he was definitely amazing. Oh crap, no. Really? I'm gonna... But he was definitely amazing for the final week. You know what I mean? I could have ranked up... I don't know. Any random good Battlegrounds champion that wasn't good for final week. No, if I didn't do that. You ranked up Vulture? No, I had Vulture ranked up well before that. My rank 3 Vulture... I ranked 3 my Vulture a bit ago. To test him in Battlegrounds, yes. But I think that was the flow meta I wanted to test him for, or something else. There was one of the metas I wanted to test him in. So, yeah, no, that's factually inaccurate there. BG rewards? My guess is tomorrow. Gore unduped. Gore unduped is primarily a defender. Defensive abilities do not really matter. The dupe. Offensively, you do want to get your good duped. That's before we can. Sorry for incoming. that sorry is definitely losing its value. Then you rank him up for flow? Yeah, I think it was flow that I ranked him up. Expecting to get Black Panther Civil War buff next month? Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? Top setup 1. Commentation from first BGs and also need to be addressed. Having doubt between Nick and Kingpin to rank 3, both of them are very, very good. Ultimately, I think Kingpin is like one of the most, like I'd go with Kingpin. Hey, what's up, Killzilla? How are you doing? If I missed... I think I'm caught up in the chat. Groot buff needed. It wouldn't be bad, yes. Lots of unhappiness in our top 20 IQ alliance with the lack of the S6 class catalyst awards. Yeah, that kind of surprised me. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting more from IQ. They seem to be going very, very heavily on tier 5 basics and stuff like that, but... is the Evizone tournament still running? Yeah, it is still running. We are down to top 8. Or top 4. But no, I think it's top 8. But, you know, obviously Battlegrounds are not here, so it's basically taking a week's break, is what it is. So there's just a little bit of a pause. Heads up, Helly, how are you doing? And then one champ that you really like, right, but other players don't. I mean... I think Mr. Fantastic is much better than many people realize. I think Spot is going to be amazing, and I don't think there are too many people saying that, but I don't know. OG Tor, I think, is much better than a lot of people think. What else is there? I don't even know, young man. Okay, let's go. There you go, eat that. Next feature is on Spot and I do. I think I want everybody from next feature. Daki. So, oh, Solar Surfer is also one of them, yeah. I think Solar Surfer is awesome. I mean, I still think they could... I think Solar Surfer is a bit like Odin, where... based on how hyped those champions should be based on comics, you know, they should have made them better and cooler. But that kind of has worked against both of those characters. Because they didn't quite meet the initial expectations, and then a lot of people just kind of went, ah, they suck or they shit. But they're much better than people realize. Popple Mages, how are you doing? Next, that's it. On the Spot. Yeah, I really want Spot. Doing arena by myself usually get me 12 million on basic. You should get nice. Well, best of luck there, James. I don't grind up that much score at all. I just grind for the units in the milestones, and that's it. 2 weeks left. Yeah, it's 2 or 3 weeks. Yes. It's probably gonna be like 2 weeks. How are the crisps going? Disappearing at an alarming rate. That's how they are going. If I send you your war pass now, will you build 2 fights tonight? Are they hard? I mean, are they trippy fights? Do they require mastery changes? Are they relatively chill fights? And definitely not doing them on stream. You can forget about that. Don't even ask. So should have been way more OP. Understand? Yeah. I mean, Surfer is good, but yeah, I agree. Surfer should have been better. Surfer is awesome though. AW fights on stream? Absolutely not. Dude, my 6 time is fantastic from Mythic Crystal and MCOC. Nice, congratulations, man. They're both fast CGR fights. Do I need to change my mastery? Yeah, fine, I'll do them. Yeah, fine, I'll do them tonight. Who are we up against in the war? Don't think you need to change masteries? Okay. Okay, fine. Need to grind 8.1 so I can definitely be Paragon. Well then, get to it, my friend. I use Surfer almost every day in AQ map 8 as well. So that's why I use him a ton. So, suck it, Q. You're factually inaccurate. Surfer is perfect champion for all of my AQ pots because... Oh crap. Because I can do all 3 sections because he can easily place 3 debuffs on opponent and he's a cosmic champion, which is kind of requirement in section 1. And then he can easily maintain himself 3 buffs and above for sections 2 and 3. So there you go. Got 6 null today. Not sure how to feel. Should be quite happy. Quite a good champion. And also, yeah, BGs is like, you know, for me personally at the very least, like pretty much the most important game mode. And, you know, on my personal valuation, subjectively, if it's good for Battlegrounds, it's amazing champion. If it's not good for Battlegrounds, I'm automatically significantly less interested. Which kind of sucks for APOC and a handful of other champions. Like, overall, like, you know, yeah, APOC is amazing, but it's just not for Battlegrounds. And, kind of like, also I really like Sorcerer Supreme, but she's just not good for Battlegrounds, so, you know. Subgene. Phoenix and Agent Venom Scorp synergy. Oh, well, if it was just the Scorp synergy, I would think it's awesome. But since... then it would have a real chance of becoming new APOC and Cable. But since you need to drag Kraven along, and it's like an actual trinity, my opinion is that, you know, it's nice. It can be useful here and there, but, you know, in most cases, it just doesn't work in places where it matters. Like, you can't do that in Battlegrounds, for instance, and stuff like that. And quite often, since you have to drag along Kraven and stuff, it's just, I mean, what's the best way to put it? It has... That setup has its time and place, but ultimately this game does not really support you dragging along synergy teams much anymore and stuff like that. It's just not something you want to do or can do or able to do often. Like, for instance, an Alliance War, right? Yeah, you can get away with running Agent Venom Trinity now and then. But realistically, you know, are you best off doing that? Sometimes, but really not all that often, because, you know, you're really limiting on which paths and lanes you can take with that, and maybe 1 out of 10 people can do that. And not every war, probably. And it's kind of like an Alliance quest as well. and pretty much everywhere. You know, it's cool for questing and stuff, but... Nobody gives a shit about questing, in a sense that... what's the best way to put it? Questing is like largely, you know, the background of MCOC. It's the same thing where you don't need rank 4 champions for Act 7 or Act 8 and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things. If it was just the one synergy, I think the situation could have been different, because then both champions could be amazing. It's like the whole kind of like let's buff a champion wise synergy thing pretty much never works. And if it does, it only really works if there's just one synergy that's required and both champions become really amazing. It's kind of like, you know, remember how hyped everybody was about Mysterio and Penny synergy? It's like, do you see that around MCOC dominating everywhere? No. You know, hardly anybody, you know, uses it ever anywhere. Because the game doesn't need it. And, you know, with Agent Venom, you know, yeah, I'll agree Agent Venom is impressive when he's synergized up, but... yeah, it only really has worked with APOC and Cable in recent memory. That's like literally the only examples there. That actually, you know, is frequently used for a crap ton of questing, for wars, and for AQ and stuff like that. The most current AW synergy team is Kitty and Tiger. Yeah, and that's also largely because both of those champions are absolutely crazy. Kitty and Tiger both are insanely amazing. Trinity teams are relics of bygone era. Yeah, pretty much. Can Rintra unduped be good for BGs? Yes. Rintra even unduped is good for BGs. Should I rank for Doom to Paragon or... yeah, you can just rank for Doom. I would rank for Doom, why not? So I remember when Mysterio Penny was new. Yeah, exactly. There's always this hype, you know. This community does have like very huge tendency to really hype things up. Most often or not. It's like even the whole thing about making horsemen with APOC. Remember how big of a hype thing that was, like, oh, horseman this, horseman that, horseman this, horseman that. In reality, it's like, how often do people make horsemen with APOC? You know, very fucking rarely. Because most of the time you just want the APOC fully charged. If you do it, then you do it like specifically because, you know, you just want to play with that champion and stuff like that. Not because it's, you know, the best game plan or something. Uh-oh. Ah, it's okay, I'm Korg. I can eat a level 3. A bit, yeah, I mean, like, yeah, okay, you do it in, like, bit stuff or stuff like that. And, yeah, okay, incursions. But I mean, like, you know, in Act 7, Act 8, did you do that often? I didn't, even when I used APOC. You know, sometimes, or maybe for a cheese video or something. Or, you know, do you make horsemen in AQ all the time? No, I don't think you do. Most people don't. In war also. It's just one of those things that, again, it's very cool to have that ability in game, don't get me wrong, and there is time and place for all of that. It's just nowhere even remotely close to as important or hype or useful as initially it was kind of like pushed to be. Variant still worth doing? Well, depends where you're at in the game. That's kind of like one of the reasons why I completely agree with not having more variants. I just think we have enough of them. I think if you're like, you know, relatively new cab player trying to kind of bolster your roster to make a Thronebreaker push, variants are absolutely amazing. But by the time you do half of them, you're already going to be Thronebreaker and you're not going to need those variant rewards anymore, and there's not going to be that much point in doing them. Therefore, I think we have more than enough variants. If Kabam wants to release more of them, then they need to completely, you know, rework their concept and redo things and stuff like that. Do we know? No, we do not know. I think tomorrow is when Kabam is going to post the Battlegrounds nodes and stuff like that. I would guess it's tomorrow. Alright. As soon as they do, I will make a video on it. You can be sure of that. Or if I'm doing something else, then the next morning, but still. American Hamdan variants, there you go. Well, yeah, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. I would say Ghost Hood is better than Ghost Wasp. Yeah, I agree. I think Ghost and Hood is better. How does it and since Act 7 is harder than Act 8? Is it? I think Act 7 is pretty much the same as Act 8, really. I think it's... here's the thing, but this is like what I'm not a fan of in Act 7 and Act 8. It all feels bland and generic. It kind of feels like Marvel's Phase 4. Extremely mushy and forgettable. And extremely cheesy. I know that not everybody agrees with me, and I know that most people didn't like Act 6.
Shut up and take my money.
But
Jared brags $2.
I'd rather have Act 6 type of stuff than Act 7 and Act 8. Because but again, this one, I need to be very careful here. I love Act 6, I just don't think it should have been a story content. I think it should have been like a challenge mode or something. Act 7 and Act 8 are extremely unremarkable, to the point where I still remember pretty much all of the bosses and most of the lanes and most of the maps of Act 6. For the life of me, I can't remember vast majority of Act 7. I can barely distinguish, you know, a couple of maps or a couple of lanes. And why? It's because it just didn't create any impression. It was all the same. It was 6 paths, 6 lanes, 3 bosses, blah 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 blah. And it also didn't, you know, pose much of a challenge. It didn't, you know, make itself memorable. And I understand people love Act 7 and Act 8 much more than I do, and that's fine. I'm not saying that Act 6 is what Act 7 should have been, in a sense. As again, to say it very clearly, I much prefer content like Act 6, except for it to be optional, not a mandatory, in order to become Thronebreaker you must clear it type of thing. At the same time, I really want for Kabam to change up Act 8. I want them to not do 6 fights per every path. I don't want them to limit themselves to 6 paths in every quest. And I love the fact that in Act 6 pretty much every fight in a path was different, and you could miss things and they could catch you and stuff like that. I'm not saying make Act 8 an absolute brutal kind of like slaughterhouse like they did try with Act 6, which is something that I did enjoy. I understand where the problem lies with that. At the same time, I just wish they changed things up in Act 8. I really do. Like, now when new story content comes out, I'm really not fussed about it. I'm really not hyped. I mean, I want the rewards, and I do it as soon as possible, and I'll do the guides and stuff like that. But it's just not exciting anymore. I'm just bored as fuck from story content. Like, when Act 8.1 beta came out, it was coinciding with Battlegrounds, for instance. And even though Kabam was bribing us for the first time ever with 20,000 or 30,000 6-star shards for doing Act 8 beta, I just really didn't want to do it. It was boring as fuck, and after I had done it, I couldn't remember pretty much anything from it the day after, because it was the same thing. There's like, you know, a slightly different node or slightly different lane, but it's exactly the same thing. Like 7.2 is barely any different from 8.1. You know what I mean? Let alone distinguishing in between all the maps. I just really hope they're gonna, you know, mix something up. So that's what I think. And I also do think that they have carried away with the damage buffs and cheese and stuff like that. When you finish Act 8 fights in like 20 seconds because you do 3,000,000% dot damage or 800%, like Domino doing Act 8 lane in like 3 minutes with like 2-3 heavy attacks each fight. I don't think that's exactly what Act 8 should be. You know what I mean? And again, some cheese is fine, but the fact that every quest has like 2 lanes that you can infinitely stunlock somebody, or just, you know, 2 or 3 heavy attack and you win a fight. You felt proud when you explored 6.2. You felt like you went through something when you explored 6.3. You feel nothing when you explore 8.1. At least I don't. And again, I don't want to take it up with any, you know, if you love that content, that's fine. You can have your opinion, I'll have mine, and I'm not trying to diminish anyone by saying the things that I think. Just from my perspective, when I play Act 8.1, it just at this point feels repetitive, boring, and empty for the most part. There are a couple of highlights, a couple of fun moments, but it just doesn't feel like you're accomplishing much. I just want the rewards from that content now. I really am not bothered about, you know, the content itself. I have PTSD from Jacobkanda in 734. Why? What did Jacobkanda do to you? Oh yeah, I do agree to that. I do like the end bosses. I do like all of them. Act 7 and 8 end bosses I do like a lot. Hey, what's up, Blizz? How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. 6 content style should be nice as higher variant difficulty. Yeah, I agree to that, Ola. I think if they introduce like some sort of revamped variants and make it like Act 6, I'd like that. I am a bit glutton for punishment. I like, you know, very kind of tricky, hard quests and stuff. So I'd enjoy that. What's up, Relentless? Finding some of my domino videos. I think I did. I think I did. What's up, Yash, by the way? One's on the path for me. Wonder when will the gauntlet be coming back? I never did. We're never gonna see it. No, I think it's pointless to guess now. Hopefully this year. Is there anything you'd change specifically? You mean about Act 7 or 8? Yeah, I would change the number of lanes. You know, some quests can be 5 lanes, some quests can be 8 lanes or 7 lanes. I'd change the number of fights per path. I wouldn't mind having, you know, some quests with longer paths than just the 6 paths. I would also change the way lanes are structured, where every single node on each lane is the same. I would like them going back to, you know, having different nodes on the path, so there's actual point of scouting ahead. You know, those are some of the things that I would like changed. Wonder when BG rewards will come out. Most likely tomorrow. And there are definitely some modders banned. I don't know if they obviously got all of them, but there's definitely some of them banned. But yeah, I would bet my money on Battlegrounds rewards coming out tomorrow. Then again, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. To be honest, it's Kabam, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if they come out next Thursday. I wouldn't be surprised if we're waiting for Season 2 rewards at the time when Season 5 is starting. That's also a thing. Probably when they reintroduce variants instead of just classic normal, they also have higher. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, that's the thing. I don't think there is any point whatsoever of Kabam just releasing another variant without that being drastically different. I think if Kabam brings out like variant 10 without, you know, any meaningful changes, it's absolute waste of time and pointless. I mean, I'd still do it because, you know, it's kind of content and something to do, and I clear pretty much everything, but I just don't think there's any need for them in game. Don't 12 having boss about to make me go insane. Safeguard. Tyranny. Do not go gentle. healer, hide, spiked armor. Okay, but you have tyranny there. What's your problem? What's your problem? You can just quake that bad boy. Question, it will be up in the leader. Well, we'll see. Is there a new gauntlet? Not as far as we know. Not as far as we know. Who did I use for Thunderbolt objective? I used X23. Rank 2 6-star X23. No boosts, no deep wounds, 9.5 minute fight. With no liquid carriage double edge, no boosts, no deep wounds, nothing. But it was a solo. Heal or hide really makes it pain. I'm sure you can do it. I'm sure you can do it. Is rank 3 6-star Groot good? No. Rank 3 6-star Groot sucks. Rank 4 6-star Groot, on the other hand, is amazing. Any clue on when the rewards come out for PG? Yeah. Clue is... it's a day that ends with Y. That is the clue that Kabam officially has handed out. PG rewards will come out in a day of the week that ends with Y. I think it's obvious. That was good because he's tanky. Also, 7-star Groot is the best champion game, of course. Kabam T. There is no more Kabam T, there's just T. And there's stream to come in order. Yeah. Sanda. Finished score today with X93, probably one of my favorite fights so far. Yeah, it was a slow, patient fight, but it's definitely like so level. I did it like yesterday with Scar. I do feel bad for everybody who doesn't have the X93 though. Oh yeah, apparently you can do that fight quite well with Juggy. Hey, what's up, Ashik hiding? What's up, Bagil? Have a rank 3. I have a rank 4 Groot showcase video on my channel. What rewards when? Who knows? Kabam T is you as be like Katie. Is it really now? I can promise you that I do not work for Kabam. If Act 7 8 being tough, if it didn't cost so much energy. Act 7 or 8 costs less energy than Act 6 did. What are you on about? Act 6 was far more energy intensive. PG rewards. Nobody knows. Let's go with Taskmaster. Oh yeah, Taskmaster also does quite well. It's medium, heavy all the time. Fair enough. Oh, come on. Really? That Silver Surfer is having his way with me. It's okay. I'll take my revenge. There we go. Sweet. Night barbecue sauce. And then with the rank 3 Ralk 2 rewards. Fair enough. Yeah, Ralk definitely is harder than X23. This is why we can't have nice things? Absolutely. This game should have a Giga chant. I can make that the new stream title if you want. Who wants to be a Giga chat? BG rewards are stuck in the mailbox. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's go then. At the moment we have Giga chat. There you go. Taskmaster hard to play. He's not too easy to play, yeah. I mean, it's kind of follow the directions on screen, but yeah, he's fairly quirky. Taskmaster has a potential to be an amazing champion with minor tweaks, though. Yeah, I used to play Modern Warfare 2 a lot on Xbox 360. I used to play that a lot. And I used to play a bit of Black Ops and stuff like that. Yeah, BGs are coming back on Monday. We worked so hard for the rewards to take over. Here's the thing. The rewards are taking long because they are going through the list manually to remove modders, which is something I'm perfectly okay with. Yes, of course, I want... Put Dab's name up there? No. Dab has to get his name up there. I'm very sorry, Blizzard. Your name is going up there. If Dab wants to get up there, he needs to get up there by himself. I know that you're basically his stepdaddy or something like that. But he needs to stand up on his own legs.
Put Dab's name up there because he's a major Jacobkanda.
Would you be down for some Yu-Gi-Oh! 2002, 2008 ARENAS Synchro Pendulum or BS? Just normal Taskmaster. I mean, maybe it would be fun. Could potentially be fun. I really haven't... I don't remember much of Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, I remember some things, but could be fun. I didn't mind Synchros or XYZs, though. Pendulums is when they lost me. That's exactly when I kind of quit. Pendulum Summons is when they lost me. That was on behalf of Dab. I know nothing. I see nothing. Guys, I'm Blizzard. Final week will be fun. Yes, hopefully. The new season nodes tomorrow. Yeah, most likely we'll find out the new season nodes tomorrow, which is going to decide who I rank. Pendulum summons overcomplicated stuff. Yeah, and I think it was just too much at that point. Because, you know... Yeah, I think, you know, the game was already at a level where you could just release infinite combinations in between synchros and XYZs and stuff like that, and the fact that you could XYZ with synchros and all of that type of stuff. And you know, also how they, in my opinion, very brilliantly incorporated removed from game graveyard being different concepts and stuff like that. It was just awesome, you know. There was lots to love about the game, and they just went overboard. And on Streamlabs, you could have... Yeah, if Blizzard donated via Streamlabs, he can select whatever name he wants. But even though Blizzard at times is clever, apparently, reverse engineering MCOC and shit, turns out that at times Blizzard is just a regular dumb like the rest of us. Taskmaster should have been like Mojo, do offensive moment of action fulfill. Yeah, something like that. I still think with minor tweaks, Taskmaster could be so amazing. No, okay. I mean, fair enough, Alberto. Become hard creators, Kabam does everything is surprise. Doesn't it become hard for creators if Kabam does everything as a surprise? No, because we can cover the surprises. I don't mind covering surprised things. Excited to see the reaction to the new Christmas event rewards. Last year you almost quit. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Finding the COP, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, I guess this is the easier, or maybe we just gotten used to EOP cycles. Okay, the OTK decks, it was so cheap to play those in OKT. It still wins sometimes, but it wasn't fun facing them. I loved making original and creative one-turn kill decks. That was like the coolest thing. I never liked this, you know, Exodia or, you know, decking out opponents or like the burn deck, stuff like that. But I was very creative with many of my deck builds that are like kind of stupid. But fun. But I always liked aggressive decks. I always liked spammy, aggressive, twirly decks for most part. And one of the best decks I ever made. I'm an idiot. One of the best decks I ever made was like a very original creation of mine, which was Necroface deck, long after Necroface was gone out of fashion. With Cyber Valleys, Machine Duplication, obviously Necroface, and tons of cool things. I loved trolling people with Necroface. With Battle Faders and a whole bunch of weird stuff. The Alchemist thing. What do you get? But competitively, sometimes I like playing Infernities, sometimes I play Mermails. But I don't know if I do.
Dab West the Giga Chad $5.01.
Here we go. Thank you very much, Blizzard. A Black Luster Soldier in the beginning. Oh yeah, that was an OP card for quite a while. Here's Cyber deck. Oh yeah, Cybers were quite fun too. GV versus Strings will finish one of the most original finish in all of the anime. Fair enough. Someone Dab is a Giga Chat. Oh, he's a stan. Do you need every point in EOP? Yeah, you need every single point for that. The gifting made Brian ranking. Oh yeah, I need to change these as well. Yikes. Wipe my hands. I am dumb confirmed. Back one excellent. Thronebreaker needs 16. Yeah, Thronebreakers can need 16. Thronebreakers can miss 1 point and get milestone 7. Paragons can't miss any point. Thoughts on EOP in general? Would you like it to be permanent? Yeah, of course. I would like it to be permanent, yeah. Every week, releasing a new boss fight. I like it. There's new mechanics nodes. And throws also 200 champs when we fight the same 20 over and over every path. That is true. That's one of the reasons why I like Battlegrounds. Because in Battlegrounds metas, many different champions have had their times and opportunities to shine. Like, you know, in the last meta, for instance, Mr. Sinister and Havoc, you know, were like MVP defenders and stuff. I'll just leave that there, like this. And, you know, in the auto block meta, we had Howard the Duck, for instance, making some appearances, and there are different, you know, best defenders. Like in the last one, we had Nova being absolute stud. I mean, think of the impact on how we value champions already Battlegrounds have had. Hitmonkey and Starkey have blown up people's, you know, kind of like lists and desires and interests and rank up choices. Many more of us are all of a sudden interested in conkers like Man-Thing and stuff like that. Battlegrounds have already significantly changed the way we value champions, whether we like it or not. You know, Stealthy is way more popular, Hitmonkey is way more popular, Starkey is way more popular, Massacre is taking over. Rank 4, BG's Hitmonkey, Mallman, or Kingpin. I'd go with Kingpin first, Lan. Do you test general best attackers for EOP each week? For the final week in advance? No, not really, no, I don't. I kind of just wing it. For final week, here's the thing. I'm not too bothered if I drop a few revives, because I have revives expiring all the time anyways. So for final week, I'm not even trying to necessarily get, you know, in all the solos and do the perfect run and stuff like that. By the time final week comes around, I'm kind of already over the whole Eternity of the Pain shtick, and I just want to get my rewards and get out of there. And again, in reality, what is the best way to put it? I have revives expiring pretty much every day, because reasons. And there's absolutely no reason why I should spend, for instance, hour and a half on stream trying to get solos for all the objectives. There's like, it's quite stupid thing to do, right? But when week 5 comes around, and because I find week 5 to be boring, because I find the final objectives to be boring, just because of, you know, those classes, stuff like that, whatever, and also because it's like the same fights, there's no twist to it. I'm just kind of bored of those fights, and then I don't mind using some items to get through them, even though I know that I could do it itemless. Like, of course, if I can solo every single stupid solo objective, you know, I can definitely get through those fights itemless. And it's stupid that I don't, because you can see that, you know, I have potions and revives and everything like expiring pretty much every day. There's lots of that. If you look at my inventory, I'm always kind of stashed up. You can see max potions in most of these groups, max revives in most of these groups, and team stuff and some of the rare stuff as well and stuff. Just by the time they release week 5, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Don't care. That's one of the things that I really don't like about Eternity of Pain. Summer of Pain, they managed to make the final week like really exciting. It was like its own quest. There were like 6 paths, and you know, you needed to do objectives, and you needed to do, you know, different lanes, and there was like a new, well, not new, but it was Grandmaster boss that you had to fight, and it felt like something bigger, something grander, like, and it was more fun. And Eternity of Pain final week is just you know, run through this single lane with 4 fights that you have already done with easier objectives, basically. And yeah, come on, where's my party? Don't mess with me, young angel of arches. You have any guesses about the structure of final EOP cycle? I think it's just gonna be one long boss rush. Yeah, I used to play both online and obviously in real life. You get TCG at a very high level. Used to travel to tournaments and stuff like that. What rank rewards did you get in Blackpool Arena? I got like the bottom milestone thing, like 1 crystal, because I only got 4 million points, that's it. I only went for 4 million points. I didn't put any extra points because the rank rewards are awful. So I didn't grind any extra. I just did all the milestones in the Blackpool Arena, and that's it. So I got like 1 of those crystals, and I was perfectly fine with that. I really didn't, you know, care. And that 1 crystal gave me 50 units. Like trying to get solo in EOP. I found out I can't use revives for some reason. I struggle. Yeah, fair enough. No, Mr. Negative, honestly, in Battlegrounds specifically, I don't think awakening ability is too important. It pretty much has never come into play in any meaningful fashion. So I don't think Mr. Negative needs to be awakened for BG offense. It was the boss rush, but it will be more difficult reasonable objectives. Yeah, I think it's just going to be a boss rush. It could be something else. It could be something like they did with Summer of Pain, where there are like several paths that we need to do. Nice. Yeah, when I finished playing, I just kind of gave all my heart. Like, I was collecting together with 2 friends of mine, and it was me and one of my friends who finished playing, kind of, because we couldn't travel to tournaments anymore as much, and which is kind of the reason why I picked up this game in large part. And we just kind of gave what, and you know, we left out all of our cards with a friend of ours, and you know, he kept them and stuff. I think he doesn't play anymore either, but he still has all of the cards. We used to have so many. I'm leaning towards, okay. But yeah, the decks used to cost so much. Like, at times, I used to be one of those players who liked to bling out his decks with, you know, rarer and rarer versions of staples and stuff like that. And the There were times when my decks cost around £1,000. I used to be one of those guys. And I'm not gonna lie, it was quite cool to pull out in a, you know, nearby locals that I don't necessarily go all that often. And just, you know, be shiny. Be as shiny as you get. Some MCOC, how are you doing? But, you know, well, my decks were always, like, worth a lot, but I didn't necessarily always spend too much money on it as well, because all three of us were very good. We did end up winning quite a lot from tournaments normally, like, because we pretty much always won more in tourneys by placing highly than we paid in. Can anyone say the new version name? What do you mean new version name? No way you could have a team of 5 attackers every person quest. Well, we'll see what they do. You could lock it up as my second rank 3. He's unawakened. Will it be possible to get the one in spin? Yeah, there will be, because I'm sure that they're gonna release like rockets, cow crystals, or something like that. You might need to spend some units, but not money. I do think that it will be possible to get it for free, yes. So EOP 5 is sure thing? No. EOP 5 is not a sure thing. It's very important that you understand that. Kabam has never confirmed that it is a sure thing. It's all the player speculation. Oh, Yatta was banned. Oh, Yatta was just a stupid card. Yatta was always a stupid card. I did like Tsukuyomi as a card, though. That was a derpy card. Tsukuyomi was derpy as fuck. But Yatta was just stupid. It would be good to recap of EOP MVPs or if also champs are used most. Possible. I mean, I don't even remember that. I actually don't really remember. It's okay, let's clap it in. Do. Oh, oh, you mean that? $37.01, I think. I don't know, something like that. Honest. Oh, honest. Yeah, honest was a bit derpy as well. When you could drop him on lights and increase your light attack. Yeah, it is basically kind of like a light champion trap card, some of sorts. I remember initially he was like super rare, as in like very expensive. Maxic Doom can slap Hela and Gore for eternity. Are there other champs like that? Not exactly like that. There are some other very cheesy champs like that. Not exactly like that. That's why Doom is a bit special. A few in my deck. That limited him. He was busted for a while, yeah. I did like that. I think eventually this game could have its own like ban list or something like that. You know, as they do with Alliance War, I think they could potentially do it with Battlegrounds, and that would be fun. Well, everybody loved Pot of Greed when it wasn't banned. It was just a flat-out +1. But Graceful Charity was more OP. Because you could set up things with Graceful Charity. Right, let's stop talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! I think that everybody understands it. Let's talk about where are Battlegrounds rewards though. Let's talk about where are the BG rewards. But yeah, I think I would like ban lists in Battlegrounds seasons. I think it'd be kind of cool. For this season, following champions are banned from Gladiator Circuit. You know? It'd be kind of cool. And I'm sure there will be a lot of people who are not happy with that. What do you guys think? Just an hour ago, finally got 6-star hack. Now I need BG rewards. Ha! Nice, congratulations. I'm not grinding for Shuri. I'm grinding for 4-star Shuri. I would pay for an AA ban. I know what you mean. It is exactly what I think, though. You know, one of the reasons I liked last week's meta was the fact that you didn't have to worry about Torch and Archangel anymore, and you had to worry about completely different new set of champions, right? That's like one of the reasons why I really like them. Oh, why can't I drop a heavy attack? What the hell is wrong? What is happening here? Okay, whatever. He's poisoning out here. He's poisoning out, boys. Someone who only ranks the most prominent champs. Boundless would kill me. I mean, you know, it would hurt everybody. You know, I rank the most prominent champs too, but I still would be out. Yeah, there's an MCOC update in the App Store. I already updated it, but it did absolutely nothing. I think it's meant to fix relics or something like that, for Kabam to be able to introduce them. Normal to have a break from BG friendlies and then do scene, I thought. No, it didn't. And for whatever reason, that's how Kabam has decided to do this thing. Apparently, it's normal. But yeah, I would like Battlegrounds ban lists that change every season. Kind of like we have an Alliance one. I definitely would be for it. Because I really, really don't like that, you know, there are few champions that basically mean automatic loss. Who would you like banned? Archangel, Torch, TGR, something like that to start off. You know, Tiger sometimes. Tiger could be on that list easy. But yeah, do the same thing where they are blacklisted and then they're like whitelisted. Oh crap. Okay. Do your thing. Man, this fight is gonna last forever. Oh, whoops. Whoopsies. Okay. You do you. Stupid. Now I need to waste 2 of my thingies. Stupid. Live war fights? No, there will be no live war fights. Absolutely not. Slim down the options of certain champs in specific metas. I think it would have the opposite effect. I think if you get rid of more staple champions that everybody runs, it would leave space for more optional champions. That's the best way to put it. Currently in Battlegrounds, virtually in every meta, there are about 20 champions that are going to be in every semi-competent deck. You know what I mean? Like, let's say next meta comes, you know, everybody who has Archangel is going to put Archangel in deck, everybody who has Human Torch is going to put Human Torch in deck, everybody who has Hercules is going to put Hercules in deck, everybody who has Ranger is going to put Ranger in the deck, everybody who has Tiger, you know, and that is almost always majority of the deck. in the top tiers. Everybody's virtually running the same champions, and then there are 5 to 10 kind of like choice champions that differ, that are different. But if you would ban like 5 to 10 of the staple champions, that would increase significantly the amount of kind of like the variance champions that people use, I think. I think like 5 champs would be cool. 5 champs per season, something like that. I like that. Again, something is wrong. I don't run Doom because I don't run Doom often either. Okay, I want that there, that's there, that's fine. If I run Liquid Courage Double Edge, I definitely don't run Doom. Should I have 2 points in recall for her or one? One. You pretty much never want to run more than 2 points. There are very, let me put it like this. There are very, very few times in the entire game when you want to have more than 1 point in recall. Okay, I need to restart my game, I think. Different is my account small. Well, I mean, of course. Every additional requirement technically favors the bigger accounts. You know, there's just nothing you can do about it. It's the same thing as if Kabam creates a specific node or a meta. For instance, you know, the last meta, if you had Nova, Havoc, Mr. Sinister ranked, and a handful of other champions, you did have advantage, you know. And that there's just no way to do it. If Kabam doesn't put any nodes, bigger accounts have the advantage because they have bigger champions and more nukes. And if Kabam puts on a specific node, then bigger accounts have the advantage because they can have the champions that are exceptionally good with those nodes ranked up, or rank those champions up, which is something smaller accounts can't do. So there's like, you know, nothing can be done in Battlegrounds without making an argument that it gives advantage to larger account and disadvantage to the smaller accounts, because ultimately that's the default situation. If your account is bigger, you have inherent advantage, no matter the extra circumstances. That's just, you know, facts there. And, you know, with this ban list thing as well, for instance, you know, if I have 20 rank 4s and you have 5 rank 4s and Kabam bans 5 champions and we both have those champions at rank 4 level, you end up with 0 rank 4s and I stay with 15 rank 4s, you know, and that serves as bigger advantage to me because you have 0 rank 4s left, or maybe like 1 or something, you know. There's just nothing really, again, in every scenario, people with smaller accounts are going to be put on the back foot. Last meta was stupid because that was the biggest drawback of it. I did like the last meta, but I was definitely feeling for the people who didn't have Liquid Courage Double Edge. Only lower BG, we only restricted to smaller stars. Partially, kind of, not necessarily. Because, but Kabam would never do that as well, because that would be counterintuitive. Yeah, well, for you it's different, Dab. And we all know it. You're special. Am I a man of scriptures? I'm gonna go ahead and guess that I am not, since I'm not entirely certain what you're talking about. I mean, I think I know, but no, I'm not. As in, like, I'm not particularly... Yeah, I figured I'm not particularly religious. I'm not completely incompetent in the subject. And I'm also not entirely atheistic in a sense. I used to think that I'm atheist and I'm proud, but I have since long changed my mind. Because... like, here's the best way. I do believe that God or some power exists. I do not think it's necessarily a white-bearded guy. I do not believe or have much credit in church as an institution. I'd, if anything, you know, here's my opinion of church as such. For all the good things the church has done, and I do believe there are plenty of good things. I do believe that existence of church and faith throughout the history has been kind of like an invisible hand that has guided many people to do great good things. And I think as a human society, it is important to believe in something. I think a lot of current problems are a result of decline in kind of church and institutions, because that is, you know, infinitely how humans are. Humans need something to guide them and hold them responsible when nothing else will. And in, you know, the fact that there are less and less people who are religious, inevitably I think it's connected with a lot of other bad things happening around the world right now. At the same time, I do personally think that, for instance, specifically Catholic Church is, you know, unequivocally the most successful business enterprise ever, where, you know, your product that they are selling effectively costs nothing to generate. The income are vast, and, you know, it's proof that they are effectively the oldest financial institution in the world that at certain points in history basically control the world, but even right now are ultimately, you know, a fucking massive enterprise. So I do not, I'm not religious in the sense that, you know, I want to go and attend sermons and stuff like that. I do believe that there are a lot of valuable lessons and teachings in religion. I do believe it's worth, you know, listening and learning them. And yeah, when I was younger, I definitely thought that, you know, I believe nothing and stuff like that. And as I grow up, I quite quickly realized that there is value in what the church is saying. It's just more so that I do not necessarily believe in the format or the messenger as much as the message. And even though still, I must say that, you know, I'm not, yeah, what's the best way to put it? I can't say that I have completed my view on all of that. I think it's extremely complex, and I think it's always fascinating to discuss it. Because as I said, even if I do not necessarily strictly have large amount of faith, I have extremely strong conviction about the necessity of faith in society. And I agree, there is vast knowledge in scriptures, which is why I do actually like listening or reading some of, you know, the holy texts of different religions, not just Christianity. And there is a lot of knowledge in there, and most importantly, timeless knowledge. And they, it's easy to make fun of it, and it's easy to make fun of anything that's, you know, outdated, but there is a very, very good reason why much of it has survived for as long as it has. I'm seriously like hitting up again Theology. Well, I mean, it happens, Mr. Jerkface. That's why these streams are what they are. You never know what's gonna happen. Science is by training. I'm all for any belief as long as there's ample evidence. Well, there you go. I don't disagree. You know, I largely view world through scientific, you know, method myself. It's much easier for me to kind of like recognize it and associate with it. And as I said, I'm not particularly full of faith for, you know, invisible bearded man guiding my hands and things like that. When life hits you bad, you turn to God. I do believe that is the case for many, but I'm also happy that that is an option for many. I do think that when life hits you, and the fact that there is God to turn to, and there is such an option, has saved countless lives. And again, I'm not saying that, you know, everything is true, but the fact itself that that is a possibility where religion has helped and saved millions of people, you know, it's a wonderful thing. I think we need more of it in times like this. I think when morality is breaking down across the globe and, you know, all sorts of fucking weird, fucked up shit is being normalized, we need so much more of faith, decency, and fucking morality. That is what young people need the most these days. Because God help us, another generation of morons like today on TikTok, and, you know, we're gonna fucking nuke ourselves by accident because somebody is gonna try and record a fucking TikTok video. Telling you, if something doesn't change, the world will end by a freaking content creator accidentally hitting the nuke button because they're gonna have 30 million subscribers and they're gonna somehow get into a fucking missile base to record the video and it will actually fucking launch stuff for real. That is, you know, about as plausible a way of end of the world as I can see in the current direction. No matter what's your religion, when you play MCOC, you find yourself praying for the RN Jesus. That is also true. Very terms logic, and it's so good. How? I definitely agree with it. You're saying that, KT. And there you go. Okay, peace. Well, again, I have very hard viewpoint on church. There has to be a very big difference. I do not support church. Yeah, if you want to talk shit about everything that the Catholic Church has done throughout the history, I'm there for it. I think there have been countless of horrible, evil, disgusting people doing unspeakable things in the name of God or faith. I have absolutely no love lost for church or virtually any religious institution. Because, and I know that it is also unfair of me to categorize like all of those institutions under the same umbrella. But I just have, you know, no room of leniency. People saying things are worse now literally have zero history. Oh, that's absolutely, it's always the matter of perspective, isn't it? In reality, we as a humankind are better off than humankind has ever been. However, Derek, here's another thing that I will point forward to. Technically, like materially, we are best off right now on a global level than we have ever been. We have more power, we have more comfort, we have more food, you know, less famine, less starvation, all of that. Strictly, statistically speaking, human race is as wealthy and as well off as it has ever been, but it's not the happiest. It is absolutely not the happiest. And especially with young people. Mental illness, depression, and, you know, general dreariness and unhappiness is fast increasing over the course of last 3-4 decades. I believe humans were the happiest in like 19s, what was it, like 60s, 70s? So that's also something worth to think about, no? If everything is so fucking brilliant, it's like, then why are people becoming less and less happy? If you ask me what I mean, why I think we are becoming less happy, I mean, I'm not saying I'm right, but I think there is meaning in struggle. I think there is meaning in pain. I think there's meaning in hard work. I think there's meaning in loss and then having to work in order to obtain and gain things. And I think the fact that many things are too easy today. And the fact that you have too many choices, and it is why a lot of people are unhappy. I think if you are born with everything, because statistically that is what is happening. Human beings are being born with much, much more than ever before in the history. You know, most of the young people born, let's say, in UK will never have to go to forests to chop down firewood and freeze their fingers in order to be able to heat themselves in winter, which is something that I had to do. And ultimately, it's getting easier and easier, and you get more and more for less. And I think because of that, ultimately people lose the ability to appreciate the good that they have around them, and that is why they are happy. It's not that there is less good around us necessarily. The appreciation for the good things around us is decreasing. Which, you know, again, not to talk anything bad about British people, but one thing that I noticed immediately is the things that people would be extremely grateful for in Latvia, everybody in Britain took for granted. And in my opinion, everybody was so entitled. And when I moved, I was shocked by the fact of what things people take for granted here in UK. And that is absolutely not to say anything bad about British people. It's just the fact that they have higher standard of living in this country. But as somebody who grew up without any of that, it just seemed, you know, bizarre. I was like, how are they not all extremely happy, you know, dancing on the streets pretty much every day? Contempt with who they are, with what they have, because they have so much more. And now, after having lived 10 years in UK and gotten used to all of those things, I see myself much more in line with how I saw British people a decade ago. And my family sees myself much more as I viewed British people when I moved here. That is to say that things that seem extremely impressive to them, I take for granted. And I can, you know, definitely say that I have noticed very big change in myself, especially when I kind of take specific scenarios side by side, be that shopping habits or, you know, attitude towards currency and things like that. So, it will be interesting to see where we go and how things work out, because I do ultimately believe that, you know, maybe history doesn't repeat itself, but it definitely kind of moves in cycles. And there is that saying where, you know, strong men create good times create weak men create bad times, and, you know, bad times create strong men, and you can replace men with people or whatever kind of, you know, philosophy you want to follow. But I think that's what's been happening throughout the history, and I think that's what's going to keep happening. Does that change scare me? Yeah, of course it does. I mean, what's the best way to put it? You'd be idiot not to be afraid. Looking around us, the things that we consider normal today. And knowing that it has to become much worse before it becomes better, you'd be an idiot not to be afraid. Things that are legal and, you know, woke and modern today, my 5-year-old would call patently evil, fucked up, and, you know, would be fucking terrified from that. If you would tell a 5-year-old version of me things that are happening today, my 5-year-old, you know, version would be absolutely fucking terrified. Like I'm talking about some sort of post-apocalyptic movie. And knowing that it you know, has to go further before something can get better. So like one of the things, you know, this is not necessarily to my 5-year-old, but I grew up in post-Soviet Union Latvia. And one of the biggest things that we got emphasized on was the fact that we are free. Latvia, like I was born in 1990. 1991 is when Soviet Union collapsed. I don't remember Soviet regime. But what I was taught from a very young age is that you are blessed because you can speak your mind. And I was always encouraged and taught to speak my mind, think for myself, not to follow people blindly. Think and talk according to my convictions. That is what I was taught my parents risked their lives for.
Bugman 20 New Zealand dollars.
Thank you very much, Bugman. How much is 20 New Zealand dollars, by the way? I'm just gonna go ahead and count it as $20. But thank you very much, Bugman. I appreciate that. I think this is the first time anybody from New Zealand donates me in New Zealand dollars, or one of the first times. But to finish that story, I was basically raised on Latvian patriotism because it was finally allowed, and the idea that I'm blessed because I can speak freely my mind. I was told that my parents risked their lives for it because it's that important. I was told that's virtually the most important thing in my life. And because of that alone, I'm, you know, hugely kind of like lucky and blessed. And right now, I am speaking to you on a platform where I can't speak my mind of things that I personally consider relatively uncontroversial. I have had streams demonetized and taken down just for the great crimes of acknowledging biology, maybe, you know, and other crap like that. And, you know, when I was growing up, jokes were jokes. You were allowed to joke, even if some of them were somewhat rude, you know, maybe slightly insensitive. But I was taught a difference as a kid between a joke and between, you know, serious offensive thing. Being offended wasn't a thing, really, you know. And yeah, so right now I'm talking to you effectively on a platform where I'm not free. I can't say things. None of us really can. And we're all pretending that's, you know, how it's supposed to be. It's normal. Because God forbid somebody is going to open the stream and we're going to give them a heart boo-boo. And their little heart is going to hurt because they heard something that they disagree with. And that's going to be the biggest tragedy in the world. We are led to believe that somebody being offended is more important than all of us being able to think or speak freely. How the fuck is that real? How is anybody believing that? But people are. Because obviously, you know, nobody's changing it. Platforms like this are, you know, allowed to operate. How can anyone believe? Like, here's the thing. You know, you can't say anything offensive. Like, for instance, I don't know, on YouTube or on radio, because what if I get offended by Justin Bieber's music? Why is, you know, why can't I call the radio station telling that, you know, whenever I hear Justin Bieber's voice, I get extremely upset. It causes me panic attacks, and I demand that they don't play that music ever again. Why is it any different from what they're doing to us? It's not. It's really just the same thing. You know, it's really just the same thing. Because what would be the logical answer? If you get offended, or if Justin Bieber's music is traumatizing to you, switch off the fucking radio or change station. Why can't we use arguments like that? Why can't I, you know, permanently edit radio stations' acceptable list of songs? You know, there's so much fucked up things in the world. But that could be potentially the most fucked up. Because once you can control what people say out loud, you ultimately control what they think. Because that's how people's brains work. If you can't say things out loud, quite often you tend to ignore things, look past things because you're unable to discuss them. You're not gonna forget them or just accept them if you're not allowed to discuss them in public. And that's how they normalize everything. Because they control what you say. By controlling what you say, they control what you're allowed to think. And you know, that's how we end up with fucking 978 genders. That's how we end up with, I know, what is the increase in... Okay, no need to do WordNet? Alright. Like, what... Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna get too much into it. This stream's probably demonetized as well. But it's fine, I don't mind. I got 20 New Zealand dollars from Bugman, so it was worth it. This music pretty traumatizing, I know, right? Fortunately, I can only give you 1 like. That's enough, my friend, thank you. It's kind of a lot of controversial change in the past. Seems insane now. One black bathrooms for finance, no, it's insane. People were against that. I mean, of course, it all goes through perspective. What was normal in 90s, you know, was crazy, you know, in 50s and stuff like that. Things change. But again, I don't think that at any point in the history anything good has ever come from prohibiting people from speaking their mind. For first time in like modern history, we have legislation actually passed that mandates your speech. That mandates that, like, you know, some of the crap that's happening in Canada right now, for instance, it's just fucking filthy. The fact that they have legislation mandating, you know, use of pronouns and crap like that, it's just nuts. It really is nuts. That is as close to, you know, actual fascism as the modern society has come today. Like, or the whole MAID thing, the fact that a significant percentage of deaths in Canada right now are from assisted clinics. How normal is that? When there are like legit stories of, you know, oh, I'm a depressed teenager. Alright, let's go off myself. I don't want to be homeless. You can always kill yourself. Like, how fucked up is that? Like, and there is no way anybody will ever tell me that, you know, the answer of I'm afraid to be homeless is, you know, I'm just gonna ask my doctor for a, you know, death note. Like, I understand that times change, but I think that throughout the history, there have always been like a couple of universal things. Like, you know, don't kill your fucking elderly and weak. you know, if you want to be virtuous, let's say. One issue is we can't agree on what free speech means. Well, I think the vast majority of the people agree that free speech is ability to speak freely unless you directly, immediately, you know, incite violence or aim to harm, and none of this stochastic terrorism bullshit and stuff like that. I think even if you say unpopular, disgusting things, you should be allowed to speak them out. You know why? So people know where you stand and know to avoid you. I think bad people should be allowed to say bad things so people know that they are bad and stupid. Or I think that controversial people should be allowed to say controversial things so everybody can decide where you stand with it. I think that unless you're quite literally amping up a mob or trying to dox somebody or trying to immediately, you know, cause physical harm, as in like not physical harm by saying that somebody is fat and that offended somebody, and you know, I'm talking about like legitimate calls for violence, stuff like that. Aside from that, everything should go. Bad things should go. You should be able to say ist and phobe and whatever things, so everybody knows that you are an ist and a phobe. Why the fuck is anybody trying to cover for these idiots? If you're an idiot and you decide to speak in public and say stupid things, people should be able to know that you're an idiot. And I don't think that there are that many people, or at least I don't think that this is something that, you know, majority of the people disagree with. You know, only people who disagree with what I just said are the people who want other people to be silenced and shut up and stuff like that. People who like to be offended. Anyways. Anyway, I think we're just about done here today. I think I have successfully acquired the 4-star Shuri now. Jax finally posted an update on VG was delay. Nice. What did he say? Ah, come on. Dooley's back. Well, best of luck to him. Good ranking up Wong. For what? What do you want to do with Wong? Okay, let's find out what Kabam Jax posted. Let's love the conversation. Thank you, Derek. Maybe we can check it on the forum. On the forum, I thread. Yeah. I'll check it out. Look at that. I got the 3-star Shuri. Cool. Change the balance. Starting. Oh. Okay, 1 second. Okay, where we are? Is it here? Okay, hey everyone. Steam's still working hard. It's ASAP. Please be patient. Meanwhile, the Q&A. Why not ban cheaters incrementally throughout the season instead of at the end? Team does monitor and ban players throughout the season. They do furthermore meticulous scheme when the season has concluded. Why not send out rewards, then double back to remove cheaters and claw back rewards and research them? Whoops. Typing lot. This approach has many issues. Firstly, there is zero clarity for who's been removed for cheating, and secondly, it is team. Cheaters should have their solo and alliance points revoked. Alliance should be punished for their cheating members. Not a question, but yes, we will be removing contributions to solo and alliance events from players found cheating. At this point in time, there is no additional punishment for alliances with cheating members because these often outside alliance leaders with capabilities. So no. Okay. Can you post list of cheaters? We have been seeing a lot of speculations and reasons that we have previously provided for not posting cheaters in the game. Short answer is no. We will not be publicly posting names of accounts that were cheating. There are a number of contributing factors, regardless of whether you think there are legal grounds to stand on. The precedent was set a long time ago on continuous matter. Why is the wait so long? There will be a short period after each PG season where we do these checks before turning rewards. In the name of transparency, there have been a snag internally with some software refusing to cooperate, resulting in a longer wait than anticipated. As team problem solves, so working to try and shorten the wait time for future seasons. Still no answer on when we're going to receive them though. That's a lot of text for saying nothing. I mean, everything that he said there we kind of already knew for most part. And yeah. Still no clue. When we will get the rewards, no clue. Anyways. Free speech sworded both very sharp sides. Yeah, completely agree. But I also think that's the only way to survive. Anyways, that'll be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream, for better or worse, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. See you. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next month